Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna, PC. Today is April 2nd, and we are in the middle of the coronavirus crisis. A lot of questions today have to deal with the coronavirus issues. I'm going to start that first. Within that, I'm going to answer the frequently asked questions, and then I will take on the questions that are not frequently asked questions. I'm not sure I'll have time for new questions, but we are having another community conference call through HOMIS. There is a community called HOMIS on Saturday. That's actually primarily for students, but you're welcome to log in. That said, let me begin first by answering questions from employers. Specifically, our clients are raising this issue, and that actually covers a lot of the issues that employers in general are having. And today, we have a little bit clearer picture than we did a couple of days ago. Still not as clear as I would like it to be, but here is the question, and here is what I think we can have you do. First of all, excuse me, the question is, can we furlough our H-1B employees? What is furlough? Furlough is basically unpaid leave of absence. And the answer is no. H-1B employees, no. L-1E employees, anywhere there is an LCA required, such as E3 or H-1B, you definitely cannot furlough the employees. L1, etc., discuss with your lawyers. There might be a little bit more leeway there. Okay. So furloughing for H-1B, no. How about a reduction in wages across the board? This gets more tricky. So let us say I have an H-1B employee earning $80,000. That's the wage we put down on their H-1B paperwork. Their minimum wage is 70. So minimum wage is 70. We are actually paying them 80, which is what we put down on the H-1B paperwork. So Department of Labor was asked this question, that if we are doing a reduction in salary across the board, let's say we are reducing 10% salary for all the employees, not just the H-1B employees, all the employees. And the Department of Labor said, well, we can understand that sometimes those things happen as long as you are meeting the prevailing wage, which is $70,000 in this case. We are okay with a reduction in salary if it is across the board. This can get tricky. I would not want you to do it without consultation with us. This is for our clients, and of course, if other employers are listening, before you do anything, consult with your lawyers. Specifically, look at the local laws as well. Make sure your HR lawyers, your employment lawyers are involved and they know what you're doing. Make sure your immigration lawyers are involved. I think that can be structured carefully. It can be structured so that you don't get hit with an expense where you have to make a very difficult choice. Up until a few days ago, I had no choice but to advise employers. You have to either lay off the H-1B employees or you have to keep paying their wages as indicated on the I-129, the H-1B paperwork. Remember, this is a guidance from the Department of Labor. Would USCIS agree with it? Guys, this is a do or die situation for employers as well. So I would rather deal with the USCIS compliance if they try to tell us, well, no, these are Department of Labor standards. I would fight it out with them. I am just not in a mood for government shenanigans. We have life and death issues. We have employees suffering, employers suffering, and people are actually dying. So we can't really mess around with requirements that are impossible to comply with. And why should USCIS and Department of Labor have differing regulations or differing take on the same body of laws? Remember, the statute is the same. They are both applying the same statute. How far can they get away by creating inconsistent obligations? So I would rather take my chances with the USCIS, but I'm going to reserve that particular call to a case-by-case determination. I would like to talk with you personally and see what the pros and cons are, and then give you my advice on what we should do. Okay, so in general, in principle, a reduction across the board is acceptable as long as you don't fall below the prevailing wage according to the Department of Labor. Okay. I have been asked a lot of questions by employees who are stuck in between statuses. What do I do? I intend to cover all of that. That's why I may not have time for new questions, because there's so much to talk about. But I'm going to do my best. And if I'm not able to cover it, guys, I intend to make time for you folks whenever we need it. Just send me an email to help@immigration.com, or just do this. Just watch our forum questions fill up. When they reach 14 or 15, just send me an email, even if I'll tell my team to watch out for the questions as well. Even if we have to schedule a call every other day, I have no problem with that. I just want to make sure you don't get additional stress. You already have enough you are dealing with. Okay, so we'll do the best for you. But today I am a little pressed for time. I'm here till 1:30 and then I've got to go on. But I can cover a lot of ground in that time. Going back to the employer's questions. So this employer, most of the employers who work with us are very concerned with their employees, and they want to make sure everything gets done right. So this employer says we are looking at various measures of safety and expense control. First and foremost, everyone is working from home, which is very good. One idea for expense control was potential pay reduction for a short period of time. And as I said, I'm okay with it if it is across the board for everyone. Okay, and I've covered this area fairly thoroughly, these questions. I'll send them to our employers and see if they have any follow-up questions. One interesting take on this situation is this. If you look at the Department of Labor regulations, they say that the employer cannot stop paying a salary or the right amount of salary for anything that the employer does. So if you don't have a project, that's your problem. But what if you are forced by the government to close down your office? I think we need to take a look at those situations. If by law or by local order you cannot open offices and you cannot work, would you as an employer be allowed to pay a lesser salary? And that might be something to look at, because rather than laying off all the people that you're concerned about, I would have you think about other alternatives, some of them creative and maybe even risky. But it's something we need to assess. Another thing was, somebody asked me, well, what if we lay an employee off and hire them back within 60 days? And I said, you know what? Eventually, that's not something that's going to fly, because good faith compliance is really the way you want to do it. Of course, you can lay an employee off and we can talk with the employees and make sure their status is protected by filing for a B status. But that's not something I would like to see happen for anybody in this particular environment. But I'm not the one running the business. I can give you legal advice, but not business advice. So that's where we stand from the employer's perspective. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this? Press *5. I'll come to the employee's perspective in a minute. But the employer's perspective, if anybody has a question, press *5. Okay, let's go on to our coronavirus issues first. And I want to deal with all these questions. I have a lot of frequently asked questions today. This is extremely important, applying for an extension of B1, B2 status while there is coronavirus stuff going on. Absolutely. Apply for your B1, B2 extension. It should not be a problem. And once you apply for it and it is received by the government, you can actually do it online. B1, B2 filing form I-539 can be done online, so you don't ever have to go outside your house. Go ahead and do that. Okay. So this question from Aki said, my parents are here on a B1, B2. I-94 is expiring June. Can I ask for extension of stay? And the answer is yes. How soon can I apply? How long? You can extend 6 months from June. Okay. So once the application is received, they can continue staying here while the application is pending. I'm going to discuss B1, B2 extensions more in the context of H-1B or other non-immigrant visa employee or TN visa people who are here and are stuck in between statuses. I'm going to discuss that further, and you can listen in on that conversation also. There's a question here. I'm not actually done talking, but that's okay. Let's see what the question is. This one is coming to us from, oh, I can't tell where it is coming from. Very odd. I guess we have a lot many more people today than we did before. Okay, I can't really tell where they're calling from, but the area code is 206. 206, go ahead, please. 20, oh, yeah, I see.
Hi, this is...
Yeah, you're calling from Washington State.
This is
Yeah, go ahead.
correct. Right. Oh, so my question actually is, we were talking on LinkedIn, I can wait for your answer, was related to my F1 issue and H1B withdrawal issue that
I will cover all the questions that have been posted today. Was your question posted?
Apologies.
Was your question posted today or no?
No, I was connecting with you, and then you said I did in night. I don't think it is posted.
No, that's why
yet,
I said
I emailed it.
I said, yeah, you connected with me on LinkedIn, right?
Right.
Right. So I told you to connect with Monica so that she can post your questions. I'm gonna put you.
I did email it to her.
Right. She may not have gotten to it early enough. So since I did tell you I'll answer your questions, let's just deal with this. You are going to school part-time on F1, correct?
No, I'm right now on a H1B visa.
Okay.
And my employer just laid me off.
Okay.
And when my H1B was approved until next year, it's a little complicated situation. So they applied for extension because USICS made an error, and my employer was working on an RFE that came back.
Okay.
And now they laid me off.
Okay.
And I'm also working part-time for my MBA. So I was an H1B, but working as a part-time student. Now,
hang on. What you are saying is on H1B, you were working as well as going to school part-time on MBA. Got it. Okay.
Right. And my H1B was valid, but there was an RFE that came through. They applied extension. My same employer applied extension because something incorrect happened at USICS. First, they withdrew my H1B. Okay. So my employer said non-proton. They filed it, and then they said they are going to file RFE. I don't know the status, but now I'm laid off at this point.
Okay. The reason I cannot really deal with it in this call is because I do need to look at some of the facts in more detail. Do me a favor.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Send an email to frontdesk@immigration.com. One word. frontdesk@immigration.com. Just say that confirm with Rajiv. He said, give me an appointment, please, as quickly as you can. For 15 minutes, there's no charge for that. Okay?
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk with you because I didn't want you to worry. Nothing is going to happen in 2-3 days. So if they can give you an appointment on Monday or Tuesday, I want to look at your facts carefully and then give you a suggestion that can actually work for you. So don't worry, hang in there. Just email me a copy of your approvals, etc. that you want me to take a look at. My email you already have, right?
Okay.
I sent you my email, right?
Yeah.
help@immigration.com.
No, I don't have your email.
help@immigration.com.
Okay, help at.
Right. Okay. So just go ahead and do that. I don't want to take the other people's time on this because this is a very specific question. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
We'll talk again. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I'm trying to do my best for everyone. We are also in the middle of filing some lawsuits this week and the next against the government. So we'll see how this all turns out. Okay, so we discussed Aki's case applying for parents B1, B2 extension. Does anybody have any questions about the B1, B2 extension for parents type situation? Press *5 on your phone if you do. Press *5. Okay. Oh, there is one. All right. And this one is, I think, from New Jersey or New York. Let's see. Yeah, New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey, go ahead, please.
Hello? Can
Yes,
you hear
ma'am.
me, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, that's the question I asked. I just need to know if I had to file the 539 form separately for my mom and dad, or it has to be just one application with a co-application.
Last time I prepared a 539 was 25 years ago. So I don't remember, but I think it is the same application, but I won't be able to tell you. But you can send an email to Anna, A-N-N-A, Anna at immigration.com. Just say, Anna, I was with Rajiv today in the conference call and he wanted me to ask you for mom and dad's tourist visa extension, do I have to file 2 separate 539s or one?
Okay, all right. Thank you.
She'll tell you. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Now, this is the employee side of a furlough. I dealt with the employer's side. The employee wants to know, hey, listen, I'm currently, I have an approved I-140 with my former employer, which is past 180 days. I'm on H-1B, expires May 2021. Employer has furloughed me for 90 days. I'll be paid 20% of my salary, or I could use my paid time off 200 hours. Well, first of all, you haven't lost status in my opinion, because you can always always claim with the government that you are maintaining status and the non-payment of full salary is no fault of yours. Can you take paid unpaid leave? You can. You're not out of status per se, but I think your employer could be in trouble. Okay, so here's how this will play out. I don't think you can do much at this point of time, right through the coronavirus times. Don't worry about status. You've not done anything wrong. And definitely you're not accruing unlawful presence, so it's not the end of the world. At the termination of this coronavirus period, you would have two choices. Of course, you can continue the same employment, but I would rather have you change employers, get another H1, and then file a complaint against this employer, because they have to pay you 100% of your wages. They can't just pay you 20%. That's not allowed. That's illegal. Okay, so yeah, voluntarily you can do anything. So we have a medical group that wanted to know if they're not providing coronavirus related services, but if they close the clinic, do they have to pay the doctors? And the answer is yes. And on the other hand, if they keep the clinic open, but the doctors refuse to come and they want to pay unpaid time off, that's not a problem at all. So if the unpaid time is coming from the employee, no problem. If the unpaid time is coming from the employer, there is a problem. If the unpaid time is being created by order of the governor or the order of the so-called President of the United States, then I would argue that the employer is not responsible and they don't have to pay the salary. So there are all these various gradations, but just because you're not getting paid for no fault of your own, I would argue you're still in status, and I think I would win. Okay. *5 if you have a follow-up question on this. *5. Okay. Let's go on to the next coronavirus question. There are two here, and this is important. Converting to B1, B2 status. And then the second part is what to do after an H1B denial. Now you guys, listen to this part very carefully, because a lot of you who have been laid off can use this to maintain status. What you do is, let's say you get laid off and you're on H1B. H1B, TN, O1, I think L1, all of them have that 60-day grace period. But the way the grace period works, confirm that grace period. H1B for sure. I think all of the employment-based visas have that. But remember one thing, the way the 60-day grace period works is this. You are given either the time remaining on your I-94 or 60 days, whichever is less. So if you have only 45 days on your I-94, you've got a 45-day grace period, not a 60-day grace period. Okay. So as long as you file a B1, B2 or a B2 application with the government within those 60 days or 45 days, depending upon your situation, I think you are going to be quite okay. But here is what you need to understand. There are some sub-points here that you need to understand. When you file B1, B2, you will use the form I-539. You will prepare a cover letter to the government telling them the truth that you've been laid off unexpectedly. In the times of Corona, you can't travel outside USA. Finding another job is getting difficult. You have enough money to support yourself. You will not work illegally. You are asking for a 6-month stay on a B1, B2 status or a B2 status, doesn't matter. They're all very closely related. And that as soon as you are back on H1B, you will not start working until the H1B is approved. So make these points with the government. File the application. You can do it online. While this application is pending, you are not accruing unlawful presence. You are in authorized period of stay. But here is now one very big point to remember. If you ask for 6 months, your application is probably not going to be decided till about 9 months. The last 3 months you would be accruing unlawful presence. So what you need to do is, before the requested 6-month period is over, if you have not found a job, apply for another extension, even though the first one is still pending. So keep applying for further extensions until you need them no more. This is important. I hope you understand that. But B1, B2 is a great way to maintain your status. I don't want you traveling. Nobody wants to travel. Nobody can travel. So obviously, have something pending with the government. Even if you're out of status, discuss with your lawyers. Even if you're out of status, file a B1, B2. Because these are extraordinary circumstances, the government should forgive your being out of status. And at some point, either at the point of first B1, B2 or at the point of the second B1, B2, approve your B1, B2. Therefore, take away all your unlawful presence issues. And if they don't, and that's what the good Lord made the courts for. Even though it is a discretionary determination to give you or not give you status, but discretion is not like the discretion of a king. It has to be exercised according to certain legal and humanitarian principles. Under these kind of circumstances, does the government expect us to take a hike to India? How do we get to India or to any other country for that matter? Okay, so apply for a B1, B2. It's a very important way to do things. Before I go further, I want to make sure everybody understood this point. If you have not, press *5 on your phone. I have one hand raised from my neighborhood in Virginia. Is there anybody else who has a question on this? Oh, there's a bunch of you. Okay, there's 3 so far. So let me go with Virginia first. Virginia, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hey, Rajiv, hi. Actually, I have a question about the previous question that I posted about the furlough.
Okay.
I'm actually being furloughed, and my company said they could only pay me 20%
Okay.
of the salary.
Okay.
And I could use my PTO. So, and what you said made sense. But my final question was, can I, after 90 days, can I still go back and work for the same employer, or do they have to do like a new refiling of my H1B? Or at this point, what should I do? Because it's hard to find a job who would transfer H1B.
That's why. That's why, ma'am, I told you to just for now, just deal with it. It's okay. And try to keep looking for new jobs, because I don't think you're out of status. But I would like for you to have the employer either recoup the pay or give you back the money, or for you to start looking for another H1B. And at some point, file a complaint against the employer. I hate to recommend that. Employers are stuck to, but you don't have a choice, because that shows that you have made all good faith efforts to remain in status. So I don't want to confuse you with too many details. I'm sure coronavirus, social isolation is itself an issue. So just for now, it's okay. Keep taking the 20% salary. Know that push comes to shove, you can go back to work for the same employer. They make up your salary, great. If they don't make it up, I don't think it removes the problem, but it does alleviate the problem of not paying you. So let's go ahead and take that. So that's the practical solution. And at some point, if you get another job offer, go ahead and take it. Discuss with those lawyers, the new lawyers. I would certainly have you file a complaint with the Department of Labor against the old employer for recoupment of the wages, and I would have you attach a copy of the complaint with the H-1 transfer requesting that your status not be disturbed because you did everything you could to maintain status. Okay?
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank
Okay, yeah, I forgot to address one issue, which was how does it affect your green card? Well, your I-140 is already approved. You don't have anything to worry about.
you. Okay.
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 Now,
I
staying
just
with
have to,
the,
if I find a new employer, just
yeah,
refile everything.
you carry the
But then,
priority date
yeah.
with you and you carry the right to extend your H-1. Okay?
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Okay, let me see. The next question is from area code 206. 206, where are you calling from?
Washington.
Okay, Washington State. Go ahead, sir.
Very quick. Is the same thing similar to B1 transfer, how it maintains the status applies if I-7 transfers to F1 from H1?
Very close, yes. Very, very close. But the only reason I don't like transfer to F1 is because the government has a very strange attitude towards F1s. So I don't remember the exact number of days. If I remember correctly, you have to maintain status for within 30 days of the F1 approval. So in other words, if your F1 approval begins on April 1st, you must have maintained status till 30 days before April 1st. So therefore F1, if you are out of status, F1 is not a good option. But if you are still in that period of status where you have either the 60-day grace period, you can use the F1, but discuss with the school. They probably will have to keep issuing you rotating. I don't think that would work actually, because you would be out of status by the time they decide your case. See, the problem was this. They were taking more than 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months to process F1 change of status. Okay. And it was not possible for you to start your school until the status was approved. So therefore, in between these two choices, B2 gives you better protection because you can keep extending it. There's no activity required. You don't have to go to school to maintain status. Okay. So I'm maybe a little bit fuzzy in my thoughts on this, but I believe out of these two, just going by what I know of the two statuses, B1, B2 appears to be a better case for maintaining rolling status while you wait for things to get better and get back onto H1 status. Okay?
I'll have to chat more.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about this. But talk with your school also before you talk with me. Then let's discuss this further. All right? We'll figure it out. No worries. Good luck. Okay, let's go on to area code 570. Where are you calling from, 570?
Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hi, Rajiv. Say like my company is laying off due to coronavirus,
Right.
And then but sometimes they don't tell the reason, or say like they are telling the reason that this is the reason for virus. Do I need to get a write-up for the reason to lay off? And in case if they don't provide the reason in writing, then what can I do?
You don't really need the reason in writing. That doesn't do anything for you. Okay? So
Okay.
don't get hung up on that.
And okay. And say like I filed the B2. After filing B2, I will be in legal status. Say like after 3 or 4 months, in case if I get a new job, right, then I need to do a H1 transfer. Then that time I will not be having any pay slips.
And
So
no,
will
it's
that
not.
be a problem?
It's actually, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's an important point. It isn't so much the lack of pay stubs that's the problem. The problem is when you are past the 60 days grace period, and the only reason you are legal in the US is because your application is pending for the B1, B2, you are not considered to be in full status. You're just considered to be authorized to stay. And you cannot convert from authorized to H-1B within USA. You have to do it outside USA. So if you find a job, under normal times, you would have to travel out to get an H-1B visa stamp. But under these times, if I were representing you or your lawyers would argue, these are extraordinary circumstances beyond your control, give me status within USA. They might. Okay.
But my question is, like, while we are applying for a new H1 transfer, as a supporting document,
hang on. You're getting hung up on the pay stubs. Okay. You do not need pay stubs when you are not working on an H-1B.
Okay, got it.
See, pay stubs are evidence that you are maintaining H-1B status. Here, you are in B1, B2 pending status. You are not allowed to work. It's illegal. If you provide pay stubs, you are working illegally. You're not supposed to have pay stubs. Okay?
Okay.
It's
so
not
in
a problem.
Situation I should be good.
That's
okay.
lack of pay stubs is not a problem for you.
All right. One last question is like during the situation, right? I will not be having any medical insurance, right? So do I need to purchase my own medical insurance like Cobra or something?
Yeah, Cobra would be a good idea, but USCIS has said that if you have to take emergency testing or treatment for corona, that would not be held against you for a public charge issue. So if you go into an emergency situation and the new insurance has not yet kicked in, go ahead and don't, heaven forbid, you ever come to that situation. But if you are in that situation, take emergency help. It's okay. But yeah, get Cobra.
Okay. And even if I don't have medical insurance, then for corona testing, even if the medical company is charging me, then, I can fight it and I will get it waived.
No, I don't know about that. But if you don't have insurance and you need to get emergency testing or treatment, that would not be held against you. Government will have to eat that up. Okay.
All right, Rajiv. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's see. I think we have one more hand up or maybe more. Area code 510. Let's see. Let's get 510. 510, where are you calling from, sir? Or ma'am?
This is Satish. This is from Seattle, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I have applied the green card for my mother, and we applied 130 and 485. First time they have rejected, saying while the application is in transit. So
I'm going to ask you to hold your question. It has nothing to do with the current set of questions, okay? But I will come to. I have something similar.
Okay, sure.
I have something similar like your issues. I'll come to that in a few minutes. Okay.
Sure.
So
this is related to COVID, that's okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
I am going to come to that. I have somebody else in your situation also. Sit tight. I have a lot of questions to cover.
Sure,
still.
sir. Thank you.
Okay. So the second part was, if my H-1B gets denied, what do I do? Okay. So I had to put everybody's hands down, guys. I have to go on with answering these questions first. If my H-1B gets denied, how many days can I stay in the US? I-94 expired Jan 25th. You have no grace period, really. So another H-1B, but they don't have premium process. Please advise. If I were you, I would apply for both B1, B2 as well as H-1B. They are going to file B2. That's good. I cannot travel without passport and Indian visa for my baby. If I convert B2 now after approval, can I change back to H-1B? Yes, you can. I just dealt with that. I said you might have to go outside USA, but if the situation is still bad, you can ask for, and they should give you status within the United States. Okay. So, and I wouldn't worry about it. See, after all, health is more important than anything else. With your new baby, and congratulations, by the way, just sit tight and apply for B2. I think B2 is a good way to go. See, because my problem is H-1B can be denied for other reasons. So apply for a B2, shoot it out. Let's see how that works out. I would definitely want you to do that. Nisha said, this is a follow-up question on the same set of issues. H-1B extension is in process, got RFE. I-94 expired with the current employer. Previous employer H-1B is good till July 2020. Previous employers I-94 is valid till July. Is it valid? Well, not really. You can actually go back to work for that employer if they still have the job for you, unless they have revoked the H-1B. Okay. My situation is H-1B is under extension from my current employer, got RFE, respond back by May 10th. By the way, you know that it's not May 10th anymore. Any RFEs, well, but that might have been received earlier. So far the government has said that any RFEs received by us between May 1st and April 1st and March 1st and May 1st, if I remember correctly the dates. Between March and May, we have an additional 60 days to respond. Okay, but yours might be earlier than March. I don't know when it was issued. But if it was issued between March and May, double check the dates. You will have 60 extra days. Okay, and have your lawyers argue your case strongly that as long as the employer is paying you, you are not out of status and they are looking for a project, they should extend your H-1B. So if there is a gap in your H-1B, that doesn't bother me, as long as you don't have unlawful presence of 180 days, okay? And by the way, guys, even if you get a unlawful presence of 1 year or 6 months, 180 days or 1 year, there is a waiver available called 212D3 waiver. And in cases of coronavirus delays and no fault of yours, getting a 212D3 waiver to get you back into the United States may be a good option. What 212D3 waiver does is this. Let's say I've got a 3-year bar. I was unlawfully present for 180 days. I got my H-1B approval. When I go for visa stamping, they will deny my H-1B saying you are subject to 3-year bar. I apply for 212D3 waiver. I should get it. Now I can come back to USA even though I have a 3-year bar. And after 3 years, the bar is gone. Because the bar is based upon time, not where I am. So even though I am in USA, working on my H-1B, the bar will be gone after 3 years. Okay? So it's not the end of the world either way. You can work on the company's internal projects. Why not? 15 to 20 days projects will not get you an H-1B, but part-time projects on continuing basis will. So if you were to say, I want to work for 10 days, 15 hours a day, or 20 days for 20 hours or 40 hours a day, that's not good enough. You can work 20 hours a day for the rest of the H-1B period, or 30 hours. H-1B doesn't have to be full-time. As long as you can make enough money to support yourself, it doesn't have to be any specific number of hours. You will not apply for a visa right now. You won't get it stamped. You will apply for a B1, B2 change of status. And you can do it by yourself. I can't answer this question, what is the process or procedure to go back with my previous employer? Because it depends. Guys, I've only done 2 questions and hour is already gone. So I've got about 20 minutes more. I'm going to try to answer all my questions today. Otherwise, we'll have to do it sometime over the week, next week. Let me just run through the questions real quickly. How do you go back to the old employer? Either they have to apply for an H-1B again if you are on B1, B2, or if the H-1B is still active and you got the extension approved, then you stay with the old employer. It's a difficult question to answer. There are no instructions from the USCIS other than the ones that I have told you about. So they haven't made any other special accommodations. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, *5. And keep your questions short, guys. I do want to get this done, if possible, today. Okay. Another coronavirus question was changing. Oh, okay. Gonna have to make it quick, sir. Area code 925. Where are you calling from? Area code 925.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Venkat. Yeah, I told right. I mean, my I-90, my H-1B got denied, but my I-94 expired. But how many days I can stay here? I mean, 180 days I can stay legally, or I mean.
No. You cannot, if your I-94 expired in January, you cannot stay even one extra day, technically.
Okay.
But unlawful presence does not apply to you until 180 days from the date of denial. Okay. So if an H1 extension, amendment, transfer is filed timely within your current status, and then 6 months later it is denied, or 7 months later it's denied, your unlawful presence begins from the date of denial, not from the date of I-94 expiration. You're not legal to stay while you're on that 180-day period. That's not legal, but it doesn't cause you any harm unless they put you in deportation, which is very unlikely. So therefore, what I'm suggesting to people like you is apply for tourist visa, apply for B1, B2. Okay, even if you're out of status.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. I mean, just final one question. See, if another employer is filed my H-1B transfer, based on the receipt, I can work. After denial, I should not work.
Well, that's exactly the issue I had today. I put in an expedite request for one of my H-1B cases where the bridge petition got denied, and I argued with the government. I said, the regulations are not clear. I'm telling you the same thing. The regulations are not clear. Can I continue working if my bridge petition is denied? So let's say I was with employer A, I applied for transfer to B, my I-94 expired, I applied for transfer to C, I started working with C, B gets denied. Do I have to stop working? I don't think the regulations are clear. So I'm telling my clients, be aggressive, can continue working. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and finally, see, expedite means, I mean, they can accept anyone, or is there any circumstance if we see when I file the H-1B expedite process?
Google search on USCIS expedite criteria. There are, I think, 6 of them. One of them is humanitarian reasons. So I said, my guy he can't travel with a 6-month-old baby. I need to know where he stands. So if you tell me, then he can make his plans, even with this COVID situation. But please expedite his case so we can know his status. Okay? Good luck.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. There's just not number of hour just goes through too quickly. But I'm going to do my best, guys. Let's go on to the next question. Okay. Is it okay to change home office location while it's within the same within the same area? And the answer is sure, why not? It's the same area. I don't think there's a problem even if the application is not yet approved. Okay? So that's fine. Changing location of work within the same geographical area is not a problem. *5 if you have a follow-up question. Okay. Yeah, and do remember to file your AR-11s. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to do anything extra. Some people would say that you should do LCA posting again, but LCA posting in your home location is silly. I don't know about that. Unemployment payments. Can I take unemployment insurance payments? The answer is yes. Okay. There are several reasons for this. First of all, unemployment insurance is a private insurance in which your employer pays. The state government pays you back, but they are paying it based upon an insurance that has already been paid for by the employer. USCIS considers this to be an earned benefit. You already earned it. So in my view, I have read other lawyers' opinions. In my view, it's legal to accept that payment even if you are in B1, B2 status. Why not? Because you're not working without authorization. There's no work involved. You already did the work. You are getting paid for something you did in the past, and that's an earned benefit. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't take unemployment insurance benefits. But can you take the enhanced benefits under the CARES Act? I'm not very clear about that. As we go along, it will become clearer. There are lawyers who've suggested that should be okay. I'm not sure it's that clear. So I would be careful about taking extended benefits under CARES, but definitely taking regular benefits for unemployment insurance are perfectly okay. There is a follow-up question from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, go ahead, please.
Hi Rajiv, in this situation if I take an unemployment benefit, right, so during my green card situation, is this going to be any problem?
It will not be a problem. USCIS has expressly said that we will not take into consideration receipt of earned benefits. No problem.
Okay Rajiv, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Would you spread the word around, because a lot of people are asking this question. Tell them it is okay to accept unemployment insurance that is paid for by your employer. About the extended benefits under CARES Act, we are not yet sure, but do take the unemployment insurance payment. No problem with that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, then next question. Wow, time just got out of hand. Now another variation is, what if I lose my job while I'm in adjustment of status? So what happens is, it is not a problem if 180 days have either passed after filing of your adjustment of status, assuming that I-140 is approved. If 180 days have passed, or they will pass by the time the government starts questioning you, all you have to do is file a supplement J with a new job offer. Not even a new job offer. So in the meantime, if you are not working, staying at home, that's fine. Because adjustment of status 180 days brings you to a point where you don't have to have a job. You only have to have the offer of a same or similar job when the time comes for you to go to the interview. Okay. If the supplement J is denied, which I've never had happen because your lawyers can predict very well, but if supplement J is denied, I guess you can file another supplement J, I would say. At least I would probably file a motion to reopen if the 485 has been denied with another supplement J. I have a job. You are on EB1C. EB1C is also allowed the same benefit. I have a job offer. New employer is filing my H1B, H4, my dependents. Wife is working on H4ED for 2 more years. Can she continue to work if her H4 through my employer is now not improved? I don't know what you're asking me. This is very confusing. If H1B loses job in AOS, can they continue working? I have not seen a rejection like this. I've never seen a rejection of a 485J in my life. We've done so many of them because we know ahead of time whether the job is same or similar. It's unlikely that it's going to be denied just like that. I had one denial, by the way, I correct myself, but that the government immediately, as soon as a lawsuit was filed, the government backed off and they gave him his green card. Your interview is already done. Your employer is filing H1B and H4 for my dependents. I don't know how you would do that, because if you're not in status and you are in I-485, you can't get H1, H4 within USA. You need to talk to your lawyers. I won't have time to address all these issues. And if you have a 485 pending, you can stay in USA as long as the 485 is pending. And your wife can also switch to green card EAD anytime she likes. So there's some unsaid areas, understood areas, but I've given you the general rules on 485, okay? Star 5 if you have a question that needs to be answered. Star 5. Okay. All right. 510, what is that, California?
So is it the same one we were discussing again? Like, can I ask the question now, or you want to hold it?
What question was that, sir?
That was like 485 for parents. You said like you want to hold and get back to me when you reach the 485 one.
You know what? Just hold on 1 second. Since you've taken the time to log into the call, I think the parents' question is up here somewhere. Give me 1 second. So this one was applying for green card for parents who are visiting in the USA. So the question was, if we file green card I-130 485, we get the receipt number. Can they stay back in the US until the 485 application is pending? Or is it not legal? Well, first of all, The status of parents of US citizens and spouses and children of US citizens is different. Even if they are illegally in the USA for 10 years, as long as they don't travel outside, they can get their I-130 485 within USA without any problem. Being unlawfully present or out of status is not a bar. So even if you delayed and you filed their 485 10 months after their B1, B2 is denied or was exhausted, it doesn't matter. They're fine. But if you apply for their 485 along with the I-130, within their tourist visa period, there is absolutely no problem. They can continue to stay in the USA while the 485 is pending. No question about it. Okay? And if they want to travel, they have to wait for the advanced parole. Once they get the advanced parole, they can travel and come back as they like within the life of the advanced parole. Sir, you go ahead with your question.
So that the condition is 485 should be, sorry sir, so that the condition is 485, we have to receive the 485 before their I-94 is expired, right?
You don't have to receive. USCIS has to receive your application, that's all.
Oh, so, okay. Nothing like, they should send me a receipt number on that. As long as the 485 is received by them, that's it.
No, we had a case last year where, 2 years ago, where the individual did their own filing. After 8 months, the filing got denied. The parents had been out of status, unlawfully present for 7 months. So they were very nervous. They contacted us. I said, well, what is the problem? We just refiled the case, got the green card. Because parents are not subject to those draconian rules. Parents are okay even being out of status, not a problem. Okay. And timely filing is when your application is received by the government. So make sure you send the filing through a process that you can trace, for example, Federal Express or certified US mail, something that guarantees that you can track down the package. Okay?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
Bye. Okay, let's go back to where I was before. Now, I would like to have enough time to be able to answer everybody's questions, take my time about it, but we are a little short of time. I have another call scheduled. COVID changing H-1B home office. We did that. Accepting unemployment payments. So this is a question from Sue. She said, how about green card holders? Green card holders can take unemployment. They can also take extended benefits under CARES Act, as far as I know. I don't see any problem with it. Okay, so *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, *5. Unemployment, follow-up question, *5. Okay, so from area code 734. Where are you calling from, 734?
Namaste, Rajiv. This is Amit Ranjan calling from Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Sir, that the unemployment benefit question was regarding state unemployment benefit. I am furloughed right now on H-1B, and my employer has told that because the state limitations are that the state says that you are eligible for unemployment benefit if you are otherwise able to work. So in the current situation, our H-1Bs are valid, and because of the government's stay-home orders, we cannot work. So the employer says that you are able to take unemployment benefit.
No. The employer is confusing several different areas of the law. Okay, first of all, H-1B laws just say this: as long as you are maintaining an H-1B, the employer must pay you. There's no such thing as furlough of H-1B employees. Okay. Now, whether or not you can get unemployment, that is not within my expertise. That's something you have to talk with a local lawyer, because your situation is not simple. It's not that you just got laid off, you got fired. This is something in between. So you got to talk to a local lawyer about that, what the state laws are. But as far as the immigration laws are concerned, taking unemployment insurance benefits is okay. Being furloughed is not okay by the employer. You can actually file a complaint later on. Within a year of this incident, you can file a complaint and the Department of Labor will get you your money. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So there's no other question on this. We did the AOS thing. Okay, this is an interesting question. It has been asked before. Remember, the H-1B lottery belongs to the employer, not to the employee. So I don't think, I don't know of any way you, the employee, can take the benefit of the H-1B lottery selection through another employer. Okay. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, *5. Okay. Okay, there is a follow-up question. Would you guys be a little bit of a, just hurry up a little bit. Area code 919, where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. This is Arpit. I have asked the question. I wanted to ask a further question. Does my H-1B petition get withdrawal? Say, if the company gets work in 6 months, then can I work for them and still my H-1B will be valid, or and then get the stamping?
I think yes, because you see, this is a complicated question. It's not an easy question to answer. The H-1B is based upon a job offer for a particular project, right? So if the project is gone while the H-1B is pending, but the H-1B gets approved anyway, 3 months later, 5 months later, the project gets revived, can you go back to it? I think so. It's a little fuzzy, but I think so, because you can at that point go to get your H-1B processed either through change of status or through visa stamping and start working on that project. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that answers my question.
the key here is to get your H-1B approved.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we are really making good time. Imi Kumar, I didn't see this question before. Okay. I'm going to come to that later. I already did the employers. Okay, now I can go to the regular questions. Good, excellent. We did all right. I was concerned I'm not going to be able to finish the questions. I will. Okay. Now we've done the frequently asked questions. Let's go to the non-frequently asked questions. This is from Divya. I'm on my OPT and my 1-year EAD expired Feb 10th. Yeah, so you were late in submitting the application. Will the MTR help? You can try, Divya. I've not had too much success in these cases. At least I don't remember. I think we've done 1 or 2 in the last 1 year. But normally what they say is that the deadline is hard. If you miss a hard deadline, we're not going to reopen the case. But maybe they will. I don't remember the outcome of our cases. If you do me a favor, Divya, send me an email to help@immigration.com and say, Rajiv, I asked you about filing a motion to reopen against a case that was denied because OPT was filed late. What was your success rate in these cases? I'll just check with my team members, our team members who have done those cases, and see what our success rate was. At least you will have some idea of what happens. Okay, so just remind me that you posted the question in the conference call. All right. *5 if you have a follow-up question. *5. By the way, I want to add one more thing for you, Divya. What is the harm in applying, right? So if you don't apply, you don't get anything anyway. Applying, at least you have some chance. So apply, but we will also answer your question. We'll check in our own files what our success was. Okay. Let's go on to the next non-frequently asked questions. This is from a veterinarian. Current employer filed for I-140, approved, 180 days gone. Good. H-1B is good till August 22nd. Can I change employer? Yes, you can. Well, yes, you can. This is a good situation to be in. This has been covered very, very extensively in our frequently asked questions. If your I-140 stays approved for 180 days, not only do you carry your priority date, you also carry your right to extend your H-1B past 6 years with any employer. So your new employer will have to redo the green card. They'll have to start the perm again, but you'll carry the old priority date. So that's very good. Yeah, you can change employers. *5 if you have a follow-up question. *5. Okay. Let's go on to the next non-frequently asked questions. Raj, laid off 30th January, H1 petition filed in premium on March. So that's within 60 days. No, it's past 60 days. 30 January, 30 February. Or is it 30th January to 30 February is 30. Okay, within 60 days. Okay, good. Received 30th March? How did that happen? So January is 31 days, right? So you've got to count the 60 days. I don't know if your case was timely filed. Discuss that with your lawyers. I think it's past 60 days, right? Not counting the 30th of March, I think is maybe 61 days. Double check that, okay? What is the general timeline for RFE after the RFE response is sent? Is it still 15 days? USCIS was not very clear on that. They said, look, the pending cases will try to file premium, try to process them premium. If we are not able to premium, we'll refund your fees. Okay. If the petition is denied, I understand I'll have to go back to India, but can I file another petition to another employer? See, you don't, 60 days are given due to coronavirus situation to leave country. No such thing. No such thing. Those 60 days are there in the regulations. They have not given you any extra time. They've given you extra time to respond to RFEs, but not to leave the country. I think you are a classic case where you should apply for a B2 status right now. Don't wait for it. Apply for B2. Just apply for B2. That is what I would do. I've looked at the rest of it. Visit near my CBP officer, port of entry. No, just apply for B2. Deal with it later when the time comes. It's going to take 7-8 months for the B2 to be decided. Do that, okay? I have a question from area code 320. 320, where are you calling from? 320?
Hello, Rajiv. I'm calling from Michigan.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm the one who posted this question. So my petition was filed within 60 days. I got the RFE on March 30th.
Okay, good.
A couple of days ago.
Okay.
But my question is, can I, in the meantime, file another petition, another H1 to another employer?
Definitely.
Since I have
Definitely.
I-140?
You can, but the problem is, remember, right now you are maintaining status because your first petition was filed. So that's called a bridge petition.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you file a second case, if the bridge petition is denied, you are considered to be out of status from the date of denial and unlawfully present. So you have 180 days.
Okay.
And again, in terms of corona, etc., you know, we don't know what the government is going to do. So if I were you, I would apply for it. I would probably apply for a B2 also. You can always withdraw it. Okay.
Okay.
So just keep an eye on it. It's a little bit of a tightrope, because what I'm thinking is that as time goes by, government is going to give us more and more clarifications. So they might give us more benefits for people who are stuck in these situations. If that happens, you can always withdraw your B2. I'm just nervous that if the first case gets denied, what would you do? I guess you can, well, I don't think you can file a B2 that will be as effective. Even now, it won't probably be. You can hold off on the B2 now until the denial of the case, okay? Or you can file it right now. Either way.
Okay. Sure.
Uncharted territory.
And I can file the B2. And I can file the B2 online, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I-539?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
Thanks, Rajiv.
Bye-bye. Then we come to, I think this is the last question of the day. Oh, good. We made it just 5 minutes over. Okay, I've got to run to my next appointment. Working in this country 13 years, I-140 approved, paying taxes. If I lose my job, I have two questions. With approved I-140 should get me 60-day grace period. No, sir. 60-day grace period is attached to your H-1B. Okay? I already discussed that earlier today. B2 visa, yes. If I get a new job, I've discussed all of this today. We've discussed all of this. Unemployment benefits, all of this is taken care of. So very good, folks. Are there any urgent questions? Somebody is staying awake at night because of something. *5. I want to just make sure that if it can wait, let's do it next time around, guys. Very good. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you. Oh, there is one from San Jose. Okay. Let's get San Jose. Go ahead, sir or ma'am.
Hello, Rajiv. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I have one question regarding my situation. My firm is in Balka, basically, so my employer is thinking to revoke it. So, does it impact my H-1B that is already approved?
Normally, no. I've looked at this situation. The way I saw it, if they already gave you a 1-year extension based upon the pending Balka case, they should not revoke the H-1B, although they do have the power to do so. I don't think they'll be able to. So the short answer is chances of risk are quite low.
Okay. And how much time does it take to revoke the Balka?
I think it's done online. It's right away.
Okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't take much time to revoke.
Yeah, it doesn't take much time. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you for your.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, hang in there. I'm here anytime you guys need some help. Just let me know. I'll do my best. I'm answering questions left and right, but I'm trying to create more of a frequently asked question repository so you guys have a ready source of reference. I'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. Be well, everyone. Please stay safe. Stay indoors. Okay, we'll talk. Bye. Every other Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we host free community conference calls. Everybody is welcome to join. Some people post questions ahead of time. You can take membership in our forums. All of the details are there on our website, immigration.com. You can take membership ahead of time, and it's instantaneous. It happens right away. And post your questions beforehand, or you can just log in. The phone number and all are provided: 202-800-8394, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, every other Thursday. We have free apps for both Apple iOS platform for your iPhones and iPads, as well as for Android. Just look for immigration.com, the period dot, and the application should show up.